Welcome back to the Real EF TV podcast, show about fishing random takes from Orlando 10,000 lakes. We are going to talk about video games. How many times has the random take been about video games? Every time. No.
every time. 80% of the time.
80%
it's about
of the
it
time.
Every time.
That's right. We're going to talk about the N64 and our history and stuff with it. If you are listening to this on Friday on YouTube, thank you for finding us. We mostly do fishing stuff over there on this here channel, and you should go check out the one we just did on the nervous system of fish. Do they feel pain? It was a good one. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're gonna have a little bit more fun, and you better believe I'm gonna bring some history to this, Tim. You better believe it. We got the N64 on deck. Episode 64, N64, the only 64-bit system like ever to be released, whatever the fuck that was about. So this is where I want to kick it off. They were running the tech in the arcades. They were running this N64 tech, basically.
Okay.
In arcades in 94 already. And they were like, we're going to bring it to the house, to the homes by 95. Now, me and you, we're arcade kids.
Yep.
Do you remember playing N64 games in like 94? Because I don't know that America had it yet. Like it doesn't.
I don't know if I'd be playing N64 games, but when you said that, I was thinking like the original Virtua Fighter definitely felt like that could have been like a 64-bit.
It could have been
3D because of how.
Because that's Sega. So that was a different piece of hardware, but it could have been.
Because I don't remember anything that was like specifically Nintendo in the arcades.
Oh, no, I don't think Nintendo.
No, I should say Nintendo, like 64. I do remember like Nintendo games that were, but it was always weird. Like when you found a Mario Brothers in the arcade, you're like, for real? That's kind of a weird one.
Well, Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong's in some bowling alleys,
for sure.
Right?
For sure. But like the original, I mean, I saw the original Mario, like the side-scrolling, like original Mario in the arcades. Where it's, dude, it was weird.
What the hell?
And like the only reason is just like to show off to show how far you can make it. Put in your quarter and be like, I got this game at home,
right?
And I'm going to show you how far I can make it.
Right? Yeah, that's fucking weird. I didn't know that. There was a Mario Bros. Arcade. I knew that, but I didn't know it was just like, oh, it's the same fucking one that I play on my Nintendo at home.
Yeah, I think you could play like the regular one for a while, I believe. But I think the main part of it was the verses, where it's you and Luigi, and then that POW thing,
right?
And then the turtles, and you're going. It's a head-to-head battle.
Yeah, I remember
that one was good. I thought that one. I think that's that same machine where you could play multiple the regular Mario game, but nobody ever did that shit.
Mm-hmm. I forget.
I might be.
Okay, that's funny because
I might be remembering wrong too. I don't know.
No, I think you might be, but I don't know. I don't know all the logistics behind this, but of course, this is the best ever. The Mario movie coming out soon.
Yes,
and Seth Rogen is in it. So
yep,
and they kind of did a thing of like. I saw these shorts online of like, what was your favorite memory of a Nintendo game or whatever? And Seth came with that arcade game that was multiple Nintendo games in one cabinet. I can't even remember what it is. Everyone else is like, Mario Bros was the best, man. I love Mario Bros. And then Seth is like, oh yeah, my favorite was Nintendo 41. And it was this arcade cabinet that had everything in it. I had to look it up. I was just like, holy shit, this guy is a fucking real OG when it comes to games.
Yeah,
it's crazy. So you might have seen that cabinet,
dude. Those
just not known it, right?
Yeah, those were the best ones though. Like all those machines where they had like multiple games in it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
like
those were always
that one that had Galaga and Pac-Man in it or something like that.
Yeah, those are always the best. Where like I remember there was a place, not to go off on a side tangent, but like when I was younger, there was like a pizza place, and they had one arcade machine.
Yeah,
but that arcade machine had like 4 different fighting games in the same one.
In one,
and it was awesome, dude.
Hell yeah,
it was
dude.
Awesome because every time you go there,
That's sick.
You'd be like, "Can I get a quarter?" And they're like, "You really want to play that game again?" I'm gonna play a different game, bro. It's the same game, but yeah, I'm gonna play a different one.
But I'm gonna play
This
it
time,
different. Right.
this
You
is
didn't
the
even
fourth
get it,
time
mom
we're
and dad.
here. Yeah, this is the fourth time we're here. I'm about to hit that. What's that? That quadfecta. I don't know.
Yeah.
I tried the other three. We're about to play this fourth one. Then a little bit later, you come back and just be like, "Did the cheeseburger come out? No, can I have another quarter?" That fourth game kind of sucked.
Yep. It always was like that, dude. I don't know why, but it was. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to bring it back to N64, and this is how I'm going to frame it now with the arcade, right? So we got, this is what they wanted to do. Nintendo paired with a different company, and they said that they're running 64-bit in arcade by 94. They're going to bring it to homes by 95.
Okay.
Yeah, that didn't happen. So June of 96, it gets in Japan. September of 96, it gets dropped in the US. It was supposed to launch in April of 96.
Damn,
A
dude.
console got delayed, dude. If that happened today, man, people will lose their fucking mind.
Happened with Xbox,
What?
right? Didn't
The
that
original
original
Xbox?
Xbox where they were like, "It's gonna come out here," and then
Probably.
they couldn't figure out how to fit all the hardware inside that
Oh,
giant
inside
VCR
that box.
box?
Yeah, the biggest fucking console on the market, and they couldn't fit the hardware in it.
And then they had to
Yeah.
push back the release date because they couldn't figure out how to make it happen.
Yeah, I think that did happen. Yeah, it's so weird to think about, like, that.
I
It
remember that
seemed doomed. It seemed doomed.
because
That
we were
box was
laughing so
ridiculous.
hard at it
Oh yeah,
because it
yeah.
was the exact same time when they're just like, "Oh, we got to push it back because we can't figure it out." And then PlayStation came out with the PS2 that was the size of a DVD case.
Right.
And they're just like, "You guys can't fit." It was almost just like them slapping him in the face. "Oh, you guys can't figure out how to fit it all? Look at ours."
Look how
And then
small we
just
just
like,
made ours. We just made it even
yeah.
smaller.
I remember coming over to your house because I bought one of those, and I just had like a coat on,
Oh
and I
yeah.
like put it under the coat, and I was just
Yes.
like, "Dude, check this out.
I remember that.
PS2." And it's like in the coat, like you didn't
Right.
even know I had it.
No,
Like
I remember
how
that.
small.
I remember. Oh fuck, no
And then
way.
just shitting on the Xbox because just be like, "The PS2 is so small, you didn't even know I had it, and they can't figure out how to fit everything in that giant VCR box."
Oh my god, that's right. They're
Dude,
so
I
good
was
now. Like, at Xbox is so good. It's just so funny. Like, if they didn't have Microsoft money, dude, they'd have been fucked. They would have been like Sega. Like, they would have
yeah,
never got out of the gate. That would have been it.
right. Dude, I was trying to think of like all the different video games back then. Do you think Primal Rage was an N64 game?
No, not the original.
No, okay.
No. But
I'm literally trying to go through all the games in my head
so that's the thing.
because
Go. Well, here.
what was a Dreamcast?
Uh Dreamcast was 128 already, I think.
Yeah, because I was on the same. Because I was thinking like Crazy Taxi and
Yeah.
stuff. I
Yep.
can't even remember what was like right
So
before that.
that's exactly it. Let me jump in here and say, like, okay, so this is what I remember N64 for, and why I thought N64 was a shitty system then, and it still is. It just has a few good games. I mean, it's a shit system in my opinion. There, I said it.
Yeah,
I said
yeah.
it.
I want one for Mario Party.
Yeah. And I want
That's
one
it.
so I can play, the 5 good games on it, which
Right,
we'll
right.
get
There's
we'll,
the five. Yeah, exactly.
we'll get into it in a second. But this
Yep.
is this is it. This is the perfect thing, because it was like, this thing is in the arcades and those big arcade cabinets, and like, how did you get it down into a tiny box, or what is your plan to get into the tiny box, right? That's like what you just said, all that stuff is, how do you downscale the arcade? And that was Nintendo's goal. So this is where it hits me. I loved these fucking games, and I would buy just for this. If I could get a good steering wheel and arcade setup, I would buy an N64 and hook it up to this. These were the games that hit me. You got Cruisin' World, Cruisin' USA.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude. Hydro
Okay.
Thunder. You have
Hell
all of those
yeah.
like midway games that were running on the
Oh
64-bit architecture. They were all
yeah.
driving games though.
Was the first MotoGP?
Um, I don't know for sure on that
When you
one.
were saying all those, that's what I was thinking. But yeah, dude, That makes
because then
sense. Those
yeah,
were good.
yeah, because later they ended up being like those uh biking games where you'd like get on the crotch rocket and lean back and forth and left and
Oh,
right
yeah,
and shit
yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. Like those were running on 64-bit
Okay,
architecture.
okay.
Yeah, and then Sega, you're right, came out with Crazy Taxi, and so, like, those arcade years where they blended quite a bit because then Crazy Taxi and the Sega Bass game and those
Oh, sure. Oh,
128-bit
sure.
started dropping. House of the Dead 2
Yep.
came out on 128, like, hardware.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
we quickly made that transition, but that 64-bit hardware hung in there hard with those,
Yep.
like, racing games on it.
Man, House of the Dead. That's a good one. Dude,
Fucking
that
love
still
that game.
stands up. You still find that shit. I mean, it's like on House of the Dead 8 or whatever now, but I don't
Right.
think it's that high up, but it's crazy.
No, but it is, yeah. And so, yeah, those early Midway racing games, those were 64 because those were the only places I remember. Like the Off-Road Challenge was one of my favorite games in the arcade. I loved it. Could only get it on N64.
Yeah,
They
that
didn't
makes
port it.
sense. I didn't even think about all those games because nobody bought any of those games for your home because
No,
that was only fun when you're sitting in the chair.
that's exactly it. Because I played. So one of the first times ever, our neighbors got one, and so I went over and I spent the night, and I spent the majority of the night playing Cruisin' World
Yeah.
and I think Donkey Kong. I can't remember the other one, but I was playing a lot of Cruisin' World, and yeah, dude, it's not fun. I played for
No.
like 3 hours, and that's what I mean by the majority of the night. You know, you go over there
Yeah,
after
yeah.
dinner, you got 3 hours. You're a little kid, you only have 3 more hours. You watch a movie, you go to sleep. Yeah, dude, they sucked at home. Like
Mhm.
they were
For
dumb.
sure. Yeah. They weren't that good in the game. And like at the physics and everything of like the turning and stuff, it was kind of shitty, but because you're in the car and you can like, you know, do your whole thing and the speakers are right there, like
Yep, and the
it's the
force feedback is
whole
is really
yeah,
strong.
yeah,
It still
exactly.
is an arcade game, though.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the whole setup of
it's the
it
experience. Yep.
is what made it good. You
Yeah.
bring that home and you're just like, this is the same thing over and over and over.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. There I that Hydro Thunder, that one might have been okay
I liked
to
Hydro
bring
Thunder a
home.
lot. I just bought it on PS1. I found out it was on PS1. I went to the used video game store the next weekend. They had it. I about shit my pants when I
Nice.
bought it. It's going to
Nice.
be the jankiest version of it because that one actually did make it onto Dreamcast. So it might have
Yeah.
been running 128 in the arcade.
Yeah.
So, long story short, it could be the 128 version that I'm used to playing, and now I have a 32-bit version. It could be shitty. I don't
Sure,
care. I bought
sure.
it anyway.
Yeah. I had a on the original PlayStation, it wasn't as fun as that Hydro Boat Racing, but it was okay, and it was called Power Boat Racing.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
It was like the
Powerboats then
same.
meaning the ones that like fly above the water. They're just barely hanging on.
It was very similar to the Hydro Thunder,
Oh,
but
okay.
it
Just somebody
just
made him.
didn't it just wasn't as cool.
Right. It didn't
It
have
was
that
like kind of
flair.
no, it was kind of the same idea of stuff, but like more in a realistic setting.
Gotcha.
They're just like, it's like nice sunshine and you're in like a cool setting. And I'm like, no, I want that weird,
I want to
dark,
fucking go
like what's
inside
going
the Arctic
on?
volcano and
Glowing thing that says boost on it. Like, give me that
right.
boost.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So your oh, you know what? A little more history because this was crazy to me. I wanted to say this quick. When the N64 launched, dude, it launched at 199. So it was
The
actually
price?
cheap. Yeah, it was 200 bucks. It was cheaper than
Nice.
a PlayStation at the time.
Yeah.
PlayStation dropped their price. I read that they dropped their price like when the N64 came around and started gaining a little bit of ground. The
Yeah.
PlayStation dropped their price, and so then it was just like you've been outgunned again.
Sure.
And also December of 94 and September of 95. December 94 in Japan, September of 95 is when the PlayStation came out. So PlayStation had a year or more lead on N64 already coming out of the
Okay.
gate. So yeah.
Damn, dude.
Anyways, So 199. They just come out. They just drop the price right to 199, hoping that that's going to sell systems after the delay and everything.
Yeah.
Saturn was 399 when it came out,
Jeez.
and PlayStation was 299, and then Nintendo comes out and drops 199. It's like, holy
Right.
shit, dude! Things were getting hectic.
Dude. And how many games did Saturn even have?
Fuck
Like
it, dude.
5?
Yeah, Virtual
I remember
Fighter and Daytona USA.
yeah, dude, exactly. Daytona USA. I remember we rented the console once
Oh,
from
nice.
the video store with the Daytona.
Yep.
And like I'm not a NASCAR fan at all, but it was like all 3D and stuff, and it was like,
Yep.
this is pretty cool.
Yep.
Because I didn't have a PlayStation yet.
Right.
And then I got a
Well,
PlayStation
nobody
and I
did
was
probably.
like, dude, what the hell, man?
Right. I know. How
Why
did
why
NASCAR
is
95 look so much better than Daytona USA? It's just crazy.
Yeah.
But on that note, did you ever rent an N64?
Nope.
Yeah,
No, I did not.
me
No,
neither.
well, because I had like neighbors that had N64s.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think
Is that your
the
same
Saturn.
experience with the N64?
Yep.
Yeah, mine. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the Saturn we rented just because nobody else had it and it was
Oh,
too
yeah.
expensive to buy.
Yeah. So
It
then you
was one
had
of
like
those where we're
this guy
just like,
had N64, you had PlayStation. Yeah. Like 3 out of the 5 people in the neighborhood had PlayStations, 2 people had N64s.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I might have been the only one that had a PlayStation.
Oh,
It was
interesting.
like I had a PlayStation, a couple of people had N64s, and then we rented a Saturn.
Interesting.
So, yeah. Yeah, it was good shit though.
Yeah.
Like the N64, like people around me definitely had the games worth having.
Oh,
And
yeah.
some of those games weren't even that good,
Mhm.
but just because like the community aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Keep going.
Battletoads.
What? There was a Battletoads game on there?
I don't remember if that was on N64 or if it was
Or
Super
was Super
Nintendo or
Nintendo?
what.
Well,
I
I
can't
can tell you
remember
it was
what.
definitely on Super Nintendo.
Maybe that's what we were playing it on, but Super Nintendo. Where you're just like that game now, like I've replayed it. And you're just like, it's not that great. But when you were a kid and it was you and another kid and
Yeah.
like it's the whole neighborhood and you're
Yeah.
all rocking that game at the same time,
Yeah, dude.
that's a good ass game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. So with the N64 stuff, let me ask, because like, okay, launched in Japan with Mario and Pilot Wings, or it launched with Mario and Pilot Wings. Like that's kind of all it needed to kick off. And then quickly after launch, it got Wave Race, Killer Instinct, which by the way, that was an arcade game running on the 64-bit architecture,
See, that's
and
okay.
Cruising
Killer
USA.
Instinct is very close to that Primal Rage.
Yep. Oh, and Mortal Kombat, but Mortal Kombat was running on PlayStation also, so I don't know why that was even a
Right.
big like a mention.
Well, Mortal Kombat started on Super Nintendo.
Yeah. Oh, and that same Mortal Kombat, right? Mortal Kombat trilogy, I think it was, or something like that. Mortal Kombat.
I had Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3
Yeah.
on Super Nintendo, so they definitely went to 3.
Yeah. And then they went over to over to PlayStation and N64, and I think it was I can picture the damn thing in my head. It's orange. It's mostly an orange background, black logo. Anyways, let's not dive into that.
Right.
Okay. So those games, did you have those? Like, did the neighborhood have any of those games? The kids you went to, any of the, I mean, they had to have
I
Mario, right?
I rented Killer Instinct a
Nice.
bunch, but I didn't have an N64, so I don't know what I was renting it on. Maybe I had it on the PlayStation.
I don't know where it came out, but the reason why Killer Instinct was like a big one for N64 was that my understanding is it was running the same game as the arcade. Like you were getting the arcade experience at home
Right.
where everything
Right.
else was a port, right? And so
Sure.
like that was
Yeah.
my impression that I got.
Yeah.
I could be
That was
wrong.
a cool game, man. That was a cool game.
Yeah.
But my neighborhood friends, um, 007.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, dude.
for sure.
4-player.
Did you
Everybody
do
come
4-player?
over.
Did you have that
Yeah, dude.
4-player experience? Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. I didn't have that.
Yeah, that was a good time. 4-player when you run around, except for like the kid that owns it and knows where to get the golden gun. You're like, no, dude, this is not cool. You don't get to do that anymore. You know, it just be
Yeah.
like eventually you're just like, this is not okay.
Right.
You can't have that. I don't think
It's
I
not
ever did
fair.
very good on that game because I had no idea where I was going, what I was doing.
Right. Yeah.
And then he would always know the maps. And then you just get shot. You're like, dude,
Yep.
I don't even know where you were. He's like, don't worry about it. You
Bastard.
know? But yeah, we played that, and I know that I saw I remember like having the debate with our buddy Sam over
hmm
um the Mario 64 game
hmm
because he said it was good, and I was like, my whole experience with that game was watching somebody else play it.
Right.
So my memory of the game was just like, dude, that game sucks dick. Because all I got to do was sit behind the guy running around in a 3-dimensional world.
Right. Right.
It's like where GoldenEye, we have 4 people and we're all just like,
Right. We're
I'm
all
gonna
running
get you.
around.
Yeah. And then that game, like you just get to sit there while one guy plays the game.
Yeah. And you got bored. Yeah.
Yeah. So I never really, I don't think I ever played it because it was,
Oh.
his like save game. And he's just like, yeah, I'm just
Mm.
playing this right now.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
okay, cool. Play it when I leave, maybe.
Right. 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 Because this is boring as fuck. Did you
Yeah.
have the Mario Kart experience? Because this is the first 3D Mario Kart. Like, there's Super Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And then there's like, and now you brought Mario Kart into fucking what Mario Kart is. And you
Yeah.
said you had the 4 players and all that. Did you have that?
I think we did. I was trying to think. I don't think it was the Super Nintendo one because I think it was the 3D version.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm pretty sure we did. But
Yep.
I think it was just I don't think we ever. Is there a 4-player version?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We may have where you
Yeah.
just have your one little screen. I can't
Mhm.
remember if it was all 4 of us racing at the same time. But I definitely remember racing
Yeah.
in the 3D. So that
In
had
the
to have been
3D
the
space.
N64.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That game is sick. I had that. I did have that. I had a cousin that had an N64, and so we got to play a little bit there. I just like watched that game for like 2 hours,
Yeah, dude.
and then I was like, okay, can I play it? Can we play? And we could do 2-player, and I'm like, shit, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that one's entertaining to even watch
It is because
because
there's
just
always something going on.
it's
There's a lot of
constant.
action.
Yep,
Yeah.
hitting your dice blocks, getting your things, shooting stuff. Everybody's moving. Always, you're getting hit by stuff. You're hitting other people with stuff. It's a good game. Good
Yeah.
game. I got to
Yeah.
get one of. I think we'll graduate to the new one pretty soon with a racing game for my son.
Oh,
He's starting to
also
get the
on that
grasp
note,
on video games. So
it's I think it's on sale. Check your Target
is
ad.
it?
Check your Target ad.
Might have to look into that.
Yeah, because it's that time of the year where it's Mario time. So, yeah,
Yeah,
check Target. I think it
might
might be
have
like
to.
$40.
I haven't looked into it yet. Do you have the online, like the
So,
Nintendo online?
that is exactly where this topic is going.
Is it? Is it?
Because, yes, I have Nintendo Online. It's fucking awesome. I play Splatoon. I used to play the shit out of Splatoon. Now I play a pretty good
Okay.
amount of Splatoon.
Yeah.
And you have to have Nintendo Online to get it.
Yeah.
But here's the catch. I do not have the Nintendo Online expansion pack. I haven't pulled the trigger
Okay.
on this yet. So, Nintendo Online expansion pack is a bunch of stuff, but it's N64 games. The N64 games are on the next tier up. I hit the mic.
Okay.
And every good fucking N64 game is on that service, dude.
Really?
I'm telling you. So this is what I have written down. Besides Killer Instinct and Cruising World and Cruising USA and those sort of things, Mortal Kombat that I already said, right?
Yep.
it took the online service, right,
Yeah.
has all the stuff that I'm about to say because this is the list I wrote down of games that came out on N64 and that were worth it.
Right, right.
So you have the year that it came out in 96, right? You get
Yep.
Mario Pilot Wings, Wave Race, Cruising World. Then 97, you get Mario Kart and Turok. Later in
Oh,
97, you get
Turok.
GoldenEye, you get Star Fox, the Rumble
Turok was a
Pack.
good one. I played that one quite a bit too at a friend's house. I
Did you?
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have
Yeah.
some mutual friends that had an
Yeah.
N64 and they love Turok too.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
Not gonna name it. I'm not gonna name the name here, but like the people who lived out on the farm, way out on the farm.
Okay.
Yeah, they loved it. That family loved it.
Yeah, dude. Did you play it?
No, I watched for a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit and I was like, I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't seem good to
Yeah,
me.
no, when you play it, it's kind of cool. Like you're a dinosaur hunter.
Yeah, I love the
Yeah.
concept. I think it's
Yeah.
fucking cool as hell.
Yeah.
So I don't know that one's on expansion pack, but I'll tell you, there's a few okay. So N64 had a few good Pokemon games, 1080 snowboarding, Banjo Kazooie,
Ooh,
2
1080.
Zelda games,
Okay.
and
Yep.
3 Mario Party games.
Yeah, dude, that's what I need it for. Because that's the
Before?
ones I don't have. I have 4 through 8,
Oh my god.
and I don't want 9 or 10 because the whole like we're all on the same ship. We all move together. It
Oh
does no.
yeah,
The board game aspect is what's fun that
is what's
everybody
fun,
moves
which they
around the
brought back
board.
for the Switch.
Yeah. Yep.
Mario Party is on sale right now.
Because everybody else was like, "What is this bullshit?" So they brought back the original because they realized like this is a colossal mistake.
Yeah, and the new ones are fucking awesome. But
Hell yeah! I haven't played them
everything I
yet, but
just
I've
said,
heard good
dude,
things.
everything I just said is on the expansion pack. By the end of this year, all 3 Mario parties are going to be on Switch online expansion pack. Both Zelda games already on there. 1080's coming soon. The few Pokemon games, they have Pokemon Snap on there. I believe I read that Pokemon Stadium is coming
Okay,
to
I
that.
haven't. I
Mario Kart's
heard.
on there, dude. GoldenEye's on there. Like,
Yeah.
they have them all. All the games. All of
How
the
much?
good
Do you know how much that?
N64 games are on there. On
Do
the
you know how
expansion
much that
pack.
is? Do you know how much that is?
I don't, but I only pay like I think I pay less than $40 a year
It's cheap. Yeah, dude. I looked.
for
I think
the
it's less. I think it's less than that because it's only like $4 a month.
yeah,
It's like $3.99 a month if you pay it monthly.
yeah,
And
it's
if you do a
super cheap.
yearly, I want to say it's only like $30.
Yeah,
And
that's for
I
the
didn't
regular.
know
So
if
the
my wife
expansion
would be
pack is the expansion pack's a little bit more.
okay. I didn't
That's
know if my wife would be okay with it either. And I was just like talking. I was like, I mean, like we could get all those old ones, and and I literally was just like, because we could, sign up for that. And she's like, how much is it? I'm like, I think it's like $4 a month. And she's like, why don't we have it? I'm like, oh, okay, all right, yeah.
yeah, dude.
No, say no more. We'll get it. We'll get it for sure.
Yes, I highly recommend at least the base version. And I'm trying to find the price right now. Well, if you're seeing me looking down, but here's what I want to say about the N64 stuff is you do have to get the expansion pack. $50. Yep.
$50.
Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack is $50 a year.
$50 for a year.
So cheap. That's the expansion.
Yeah, like
Regular online is 20.
that's everything plus your extra stuff.
Yeah, and I'll get into that more, but like when they dropped, so they just dropped the N64 stuff recently.
Yeah.
Every single time that they've dropped one of these online thingies,
Yeah.
like every time they drop it, like first it was Nintendo regular and then it was Super Nintendo, right? And those come on the regular expansion pack. When they did that,
Yeah.
they set out Switch controllers. Like If you have an online pass, you can go to Nintendo and log into your account, and there's a store that's behind this sign-in wall, and you can buy a Nintendo controller that works wirelessly with your Switch. It's a
Yeah.
recreation of the original Nintendo controller that works with your Switch. You can do it for the Super Nintendo, and you can do it for the N64 too.
Yeah.
I don't know why the fuck you would want an N64 controller though.
I don't. That was the one thing I didn't understand at all. Every time we were playing it, I'm just like, this is such a stupid. And of course, the kid that has it has to just be like, "Oh, it's a really cool controller." Oh, yeah, you got to say that because you spent all the money on the system. You got to act like,
Exactly.
"Yeah, it's the best."
Right.
Just be
And
like,
bought 3 more of those motherfucking controllers
right,
too on top
yeah.
of that.
You just want to tell them like, you know, I got a PlayStation, right?
Right.
You want to act like you got a good controller when you know I have a PlayStation controller?
Right.
Stop
Which is
acting stupid.
literally going to
You
be the
know,
form that every controller from here just modifies on.
you know it. You know it's the best. Don't
Yes.
even come at me with that.
No. That
I hate it.
N64 controller is shit.
I disagree with people too with like the Xbox ones because my brain likes things symmetrical
Oh,
and where they're just like, no,
I
I
got
actually
you.
like it when the
Offset.
sticks are offset.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't. My hands are never next to each other.
Yep.
I want them next to each other.
Yep.
Bothers me. So
I prefer
maybe,
dual like working a camera.
yeah,
And yep, I prefer the PlayStation. My 2 thumbs next to each other doing the same thing. Like, I
yeah,
agree with you. Uh, yeah, no, I totally agree. But that's the other thing though about the N64 controllers. Props to that thing for having a joystick on it though for the first time, right? Like
yeah, dude.
to embed
Oh yeah, that
a
was cool.
joystick into the controller for the like
Yeah,
the whole controller. It wasn't its own separate joystick controller now. There was a joystick in it for the first
right,
time, which was dope. Other than
dude.
that, fuck that controller.
I wonder if I don't. That's got to be false. I don't know. I just put in like N64 Mario Party, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Cuz I was going to make this point of just like $50 a year is so cheap
Mhm.
because like how good of a deal is that when the N64 Mario Party has got to be a ton of money. And
It's
then
fairly expensive. What'd you find?
that's what I thought, right? There's a lot of 1, 2 and 3 for $39.98 on Etsy. And I was like,
No.
that's
Okay.
not real, is it?
No.
You get all 3 games?
No, they're not. So, okay. I'll tell you. I have numbers. You
Okay.
ready? So, you're right so because we're talking N64. Did your wife had an N64?
Nope. She had a
Okay.
Sega.
Yeah, she was a
And
Sega kid.
only a Sega. I don't think
Yep.
she had a she did have a Super Nintendo. She had a Super Nintendo and a Sega, and that's as far
And a
as it
Sega
went.
Genesis. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
She never had a PlayStation or anything beyond that.
Right. My wife did have the N64, but she sold it before I knew her. So I'm like, oh damn it.
Sure.
So otherwise, I would have one, and because I definitely want one. But I'm gonna tell you this: I wanted to inherit one because I looked on eBay. They're going for 150 bucks for the console and one controller right now, which is fine, whatever, right? But then
Yeah,
you
I
have to try
mean,
to buy the games, and yeah, the games ain't that cheap. Yeah, sure, they
no.
have Tony Hawk 2. They got Tony Hawk 2. Cool. It wasn't really that upresed. It wasn't that great. And how in the fuck do you play Tony Hawk 2 on that shitty controller?
Right.
But that so the Mario parties, they used to be super expensive. They were, I remember 5, 7 years ago,
Yeah.
Mario Party 1 went for 100 bucks minimum for
Right.
the cartridge. So those definitely on Etsy are fake, and I'll tell you more about why they're fake in a second. But
Okay.
so you got eBay showing me that the N64 and one controller is 150 bucks right now. Then you have to get the
Mhm.
game. I think the last time I saw a couple years ago, I actually saw Mario Party 2. They still wanted $59.99, 60 bucks for that game.
Okay.
Now, as this online thing's rolling out,
Yeah.
you start seeing people turn in their games. And so the market becomes a little bit flooded and it does lower the price. So it's not a bad time if you do want to invest in the physical stuff to
Yeah.
start looking for it. But you have to watch out for these fake shitty ones because what Etsy has right now, dude,
Yeah.
I bet you're looking at reprints of cases, nothing else. They're for decoration.
Really?
Yeah. They find old molds, somebody makes the old mold and then sells the
Yeah.
case because people will customize their own games. So like you could get a clear red Pokemon case and you
Yeah.
could take out your Pokemon Red and put it in your new cool clear red case, right? And so you have a custom red Pokemon game. So
Sure.
people on Etsy are making these cases and selling just these game cases, which are for decoration or to wrap an old game in. Like you have an old sun faded copy of Mario Party. Oh, well, just take it apart and put it in the new one. Don't do that. Don't fucking touch
Right.
the original one. But I think that might be what you're seeing. Also, people are just blatantly selling piracy out there.
Okay.
They just will flat out do it because they can get away with it long enough. And so you got to be super careful of that too. That people
Right.
will sell ROMs, which are just emulated versions. They're not even ROM dumps of the original game. They're like, yeah, it's not great. So you got to really make sure you get a legit copy of it. And another reason why, I don't know, if you don't want to go through all the trouble of getting the actual N64, just pay $50 a month and there it is on your Switch.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Because you
Because
don't have to.
the N64, dude, it has that cult following. Like those kids who defended the controller, right?
Right.
They've come to
Right.
their senses now as adults, I'm sure, but they're still like,
Yeah.
man, there's nothing like it. Yeah,
Right.
there is nothing like it. There's a reason for that.
Yeah. 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 Because is it's you just gotta be like it's the best. I do gotta say maybe my favorite system for aesthetics
Yeah.
because they were like, hey, why don't we release it in like 20 different colors and have it be translucent? Like,
Mhm.
dude, I would love it if the PlayStation did that. Like, do you want to see through red one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I have a see-through red PlayStation? That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I totally agree, dude. I want that bright, translucent green one so bad.
Yeah, dude. That's what I
So
like.
bad.
If I get one, I definitely don't want the gray. I
Yeah,
want
I agree with you.
I want like just a cool color. I don't even care what color it is. Like
Well,
if
do
they're
you remember that moment in time where the clear plastic was the shit and like
yeah.
the DualShock 2, yeah, the PlayStation 2 controllers were coming out. They had like the clear one, the clear blue one, the clear red one, the clear green one,
Mm.
right? And then N64
Yep.
was like, how about an entire console?
How about the whole
Bam, bam.
console? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They had
Because people,
the orange and the green and the blue. I think there was a pink
yeah,
one.
because it was this whole thing of just like you can see into it. How cool is that? And
Right.
especially with the DualShock, where they're
Yeah.
like, you could see those things spin.
Yeah. You could see the
Where,
vibrating motors.
yeah, yeah. How
Yeah.
cool is that? That's super cool.
It was super sick.
Yeah, dude.
And then,
Very, very cool.
speaking of like the used hardware quick here, we can wrap up as but talking about, yes, the N64 had some of the coolest looking consoles out there. You're dead on with that. The Pokemon one. Do you remember the Pokemon one? The blue and yellow with the Pikachu on it?
Mm, I thought it was all yellow. Is blue and yellow?
Yeah, it was base blue and then it had yellow
Okay.
accent with a big yellow Pikachu on it.
No, dude. I don't.
Yeah,
That's
just
not
look up
ringing a bell.
Pokemon N64, like Pokemon N64 console. And you correct me if I'm wrong, but I've seen this thing in used video game stores, dude. They basically don't sell it. Like they just have it in the used video game store because the owner just wants to be like, yeah, yeah. Check that shit out, right?
Yeah, I got one.
You want to know how much it is? You ask me.
Right. There's a
Because
oh, it has actual like it's like a physical Pikachu on it.
yeah, like it's got a 3D Pikachu like mounted
Yeah.
to it, dude.
No, I don't know if I ever saw that one. This one has like a Pokeball and the
Yep.
3D
Yeah.
Pikachu.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that thing fucking sick?
Yeah, dude, they're selling that one for $230.
Yeah, it is.
The controllers are blue with the Pikachu on it. That's
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Japanese version that's orange.
What?
On eBay, they're selling for $365.
The translucent orange, right?
No, it's just orange.
Oh, wow.
It's got like a Japanese writing on it and says Nintendo 64, and then underneath it, it's all Japanese. The whole case is Japanese.
Oh, sick, dude.
But yeah, it's an orange system.
That's
I don't know
cool.
if you can see it real well.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I
the
can see that.
Pikachu on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally saw the blue that you were
Pokemon,
talking
a
about.
Pokemon version of it. Yeah, I've never seen that one before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you, man. I have to give it to the N64. I mean, they had some great games, but it just wasn't that much. There just wasn't that much. It wasn't worth it. And
Right.
but hot damn, those special consoles. It was the best. It was the best at that. There's no
Hell
doubt about
yeah.
it.
Yep.
Okay. Well, before we go on any longer, let's wrap it up here.
Yeah, I got
Like,
it.
subscribe, go over to Spotify and iTunes. Please leave a review. Helps so much with the algorithm. Patreon, got a Patreon page, patreon.com/realaftv. Look us up on all the social medias, the Twitters and the Facebooks and the other stuff. Real
Yep.
AF TV. Just
Yep.
look it up.
Yep.
Real like fish and real.
Yep.
Shit. What am I forgetting? Oh, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're listening to this
Yes.
on podcast services and you're subscribed, or you already are hooked up to the podcast, please go over to YouTube, look us up, youtube.com/@realaftv, real like fish and real, and hit the subscribe for us, please. That'd be great. The YouTube channel, it's growing steadily, but we need more subscribers on there to get the numbers to do things where we can start doing other things with it. That would be super awesome.
Awesome.
And we would be very thankful for that.
Yes.
You know what? One thing we didn't cover, Tim,
What's
we
that?
didn't talk about at all. Smash Bros.
Ooh. Yeah, Smash Bros. Smash Bros is a fun one, but that game I always had a hard time